There's a thing called compassion fatigue when you give so much and you have nothing left to give yourself. In this video, we're going to talk about giving, even if you're tired and even if you don't want to. The reason I wanted to discuss this topic today is that there's a way to give where you feel good about it and that other person feels good about it too. And on days that we don't want to give or we have nothing left to give, this video is about how to give back even if you don't have much to give. The inspiration behind this video came from recent events in Valencia, Spain. The region has been flooded with immense amount of water that this country is not used to receiving. 100,000 families have been affected, 50,000 businesses, and hundreds of volunteers. They've come all the way to help. Now, government response has been slow, and many people are tired, and when they have lost everything, they're still helping clear the mud. This is an example of giving even when you have lost everything. Giving is not just money. It's your time. And what's important is your time to lift a bucket of mud, to donate equipment, to bring your tractor and help a family take the mud out of their homes, out of their cars, off their lands. Valencia is known for farmland. There's rice that's being cultivated here, oranges, those beautiful orange orchards that have been destroyed, Hurricane Dana. And it gave me a focus for this video to talk about what happens when you feel you have nothing to give. One of the easiest ways to give something to someone is your time, is simply to listen. Be in the presence of someone who's going through a tough time and listen to what they have to say. Hear what they have to say. You don't have to respond. You could just be. You're breathing in their presence. And that's connection. That is a way that someone can donate their time and be meaningful in that person's time. You don't know what that person is going through. And the universe, I'll call it God, my definition of religion is expanded beyond being a Catholic. I really take a lot from Kabbalah and Buddhism, and it's just amazing what I learn from other religions and what we can take from religions. So let's call it Big God with a big G. It has a way of rewarding those who serve others, those who are in the service of others. And serving others with your time brings a lot of well-being, not only for you and for the other person, but to the whole community. You can give just 5 minutes of your time to pick up the phone, to stop by and check up on your neighbor, to drop off a piece of cake, to help with babysitting. If you want to learn how to help people, it's with your time. That goes hand in hand in influencing others. To influence others in making better decisions really boils down to the simple act of being there for them, hearing what they have to say, and just bringing an ounce of happiness into their life. Now, you're probably wondering why I've shifted into talking more about self-improvement and especially talking about how to be a better human. It's because this world is crazy and there's crazy things that happen to us. I've experienced the floods in Prague, Czech Republic this summer, which actually affected the entire Central European region. 2 months later, I'm in Spain. I had to rebook my flight because the runway was flooded here in Valencia, and another flood. And it really got me thinking of, what can I do? I was in the middle of moving to Spain, so I didn't have enough time or energy to go to the affected areas and lift buckets of mud and help other volunteers. But I thought about maybe creating videos for people who are having a tough time. I know my roommate's watching and she's been out there helping the community, which is great. I've been thinking about what is it that we can do to help others that doesn't take a lot of effort and is manageable. It goes back down to the first principles of connection, and that is listening to what the person has to say, being in the presence of another human being, offering to help, offering to alleviate a burden that the person has in their life. And it doesn't have to be such a large commitment that the help isn't manageable. It could be simply as hearing what the person has to say and and then actually being in gratitude for the knowledge and for the trust. Trust and commitment is difficult in today's relationships. I think when you show up for someone, they begin to trust you, and that consistency is commitment. And if you want someone to trust you and be committed to you, show that. Give help. And even if that person has burned the bridges, still be there for them. That's in a healthy way. If they continue to hurt you, keep your distance. But I think it's easy for us to be pessimistic and just alone and cooped up and hate the world. But that isolation is really what kills us. I think that in any culture that you go, and it could even be in your neighborhood, and you see that person walking the dog, smile, say hello. You know, I was with my brother at a gas station and I was wearing a cat costume. It was for Halloween, and clearly I stood out. I had makeup on my face, and like people walked past me, didn't even notice me. And I think that helping another person is just noticing them. They're not a waste of space. They have value. Each and every one of us has value. Let's remind ourselves that it's important to be kind and compassionate. It goes a long way. Has there ever been a moment in your life where helping another person has backfired? And what did you do about it? Did you actually give up on helping them? What if you actually think about other ways you could help them, and what impact has that had in your life? So if you want to check out more of my playlist on self-improvement and positivity, be a better human with Alice, and please leave comments below. I'm curious to see how you are helping people today, even when it's hard. And for the next episode, I'm going to talk about another important topic. By the way, I've been thinking about these topics for 6 months that I've been on YouTube. I just didn't know when's a good time to talk about these topics, so I'm kind of going over them now. The next one this is a very tough question. What would you do if today was your last day to live? This was the question I asked myself when I had a midlife crisis, and it helped me on finding a path towards purpose. I think that when we ask each other these tough questions, it allows us to really understand our experience of life and know why we are here. And please hit that subscribe button so I know you're watching and I continue creating these videos for you. With that being said, do the best that you can every day.